My sister stole and ruined my wedding dress. I am not sending them an invitation.
Well, maybe you should have got a different dress, a backup dress.
So, I am a 28-year-old female, and my sister, Amy, is 38. When we were younger, our parents told us they had money saved for us to use when we got married. Amy has been married and divorced 4 times to 4 different men.
Let's go. That's a lot of money.
The first time she got married, she was only a few weeks away from graduating high school, but dropped out to marry husband number 1. Which you don't need to drop out of high school to get married, you freaking idiot. Maybe if you would have stayed in high school, you would have learned that. By the way, this comes from user XXI throw up glitter XX. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So now I have to be careful with certain details, because if my parents or Amy knew I posted this, they would be infuriated. But I really need to know if I am the booty hole in this situation. Long story short, now that I'm engaged and getting married, I assumed I would be paying for most of the wedding. The only thing I really wanted help with was the wedding dress. When I talked to my mom about it, she told me there wasn't any money left because Amy had needed it for divorces and changing her name back and her weddings. I'm not trying to be entitled or spoiled, but it seems extremely unfair that my sister got to have 4 huge weddings, including a $34,000 honeymoon for one of them, while I got nothing. I chalked it up as a loss. Another important detail: I wasn't invited to any of Amy's 4 weddings. I'm adopted, and she's my adoptive parents' biological daughter. Favoritism was always played, and she bullied me relentlessly when we were kids. Despite that, I still wanted her at my wedding. I have a small group of friends, so when it came to picking out my wedding dress, I wanted Amy to be there. Everything was fine. I picked out my dress, and then the gates of the flaming lake of fire broke open. I had my dress hanging in my closet, protected in a plastic garment bag, and then my fiance's mom, who lives in Texas, a 20-hour drive away from us, got very sick and broke her hip. She needed someone to care for her, so my fiance and I went to Texas and stayed there for about a month. Before leaving, I asked Amy if she could watch my cats and rabbit. Just feed them and check in on them while we're gone. She agreed. Fast forward to when we finally get home. As soon as we walk in, I have an awful gut feeling that something is wrong. I check around the house and nothing seems stolen. The animals are okay, and then it hits me. I go to check on my dress, and it's gone. I started freaking out and tell my fiance. He asks, "Where did you have it last?" And I tell him it was in the extra bedroom closet hanging up. We start searching everywhere, and then I start calling Amy. Straight to voicemail. I call again, voicemail. I even try calling from my fiance's phone in case she blocked me, but still voicemail.
All right, we pulling up then.
You pull up, hop out at the after party?
Yep.
I call my parents. They think I'm being ridiculous, insisting Amy would never steal my wedding dress. I feel like I'm being gaslit, and I'm absolutely furious. A few days later, Amy finally texts me, "Hey, can you go ahead and pay me for babysitting the cats and the rabbit?" I reply, "Yeah, but first, I need to know what the frick happened to my frickin' dress, dude." She acts confused, pretending not to know what I'm talking about. What's a dress? What is that? Like a shirt that's also pants? So weird.
I didn't know the difference between a dress and a skirt for a while.
Now we have security cameras. One in the front yard, one in the backyard. So I check the footage, and guess what? I see Amy carrying out the dress in her stupid little hands, and still it's in its plastic covering on a hanger. Eurostep. I immediately send her the video and text, "I know you took my dress, you little stupid idiot. Where is it?" Her response, "Oh, I just wanted to make sure you paid me for babysitting the animals, and then I'll bring your dress back. You're psycho." So I pay her, and then she says, "Okay, I can bring the dress to you sometime this week." I wait and wait and wait. Girl, you're waiting? Show up to the door with a hammer. Bang, 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 bang. She's taking your wedding dress as collateral? Yeah, freaking right. She's lying to you. She's lying to you. She took your dress because she's a sick freak. Yes, show up at her house with a blowtorch and cut the door off of its hinges. What the heck? What are we doing waiting around? Take action. She keeps making excuses. "I'm busy. I'm at work. I'm not home. The car's not working. The car's in the shop. Excuse after excuse. I finally call my parents again and tell them what's going on. That's when my mom accidentally spills the truth. Now, my mom is terrible at lying and tends to say things she shouldn't. She slips up and says that Amy accidentally got the dress dirty, tried to wash it in the washing machine, and completely ruined it.
You've had 4 weddings. You know how wedding dresses go. Why are you doing this?
When she's gotten divorced 4 times, it wipes her memory. She has no memory of her wedding. She did this on purpose. I hope you understand. I hope we all understand. She didn't ruin the dress accidentally because she's a cruel, spiteful idiot. And OP, you have too much chill. You need to wake up and choose a little bit of violence. At this point, I'm panicking. I ask, what do you mean? Mom stumbles over her words and finally says, well, you need to call her and work it out. I'm sure she didn't mean to.
We literally have been calling her for days.
Fine, maybe she didn't mean to, but she still needs to replace my dress, which, girl, you are right. I call Amy and tell her she needs to pay me back for a new dress, and she starts crying on the phone. But I'm so stupid. She's saying sorry, and she doesn't want me to hate her, and she has no money, blah, 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 blah.
Conspiracy theory. She is ruining your dress because you are in a happy marriage, and she cannot stand the thought of it because she's been in 4 unhappy marriages, and she's jealous.
I call my parents again and say, she doesn't have the money. What am I supposed to do? I can't afford another dress.
Just get married again.
She's doing Adam Sandler with your basketball shorts, t-shirt, hoodie. All right? On a real level, who cares? Would you get married in jeans and t-shirt?
If it was my last day on earth and I had to marry the love of my life, absolutely.
It's not your last day on earth, but the dress is spontaneously combusted. All your wedding clothes spontaneously combust, and all you have are jeans and t-shirt. Do you still do the wedding? Yes or no?
Knowing my girl, she got a backup dress.
My mom keeps telling me I need to forgive her and that it was an accident, and she even says, maybe you weren't meant to have that dress. Sometimes things happen for a reason. At this point, I'm beyond frustrated. So I start a GoFundMe. I post on Facebook explaining what happened, hoping for some help. Almost immediately, my parents call me, screaming that I'm embarrassing Amy, and she's really upset. They say I'm embarrassing them too and need to let it go. Forgive Amy and stop making a big drama out of it. I end up taking down the GoFundMe. It wasn't up for more than a day, and I hadn't even raised anything, but I'm still furious.
Nah, that's a good, campaign.
Yeah, my idiot sister ruined my wedding dress. I guess she forgot how wedding dresses work after being married 4 different times. Say, la vie, will you help me buy a new dress for me, please? Okay, I'm mad that my parents didn't save any money for me, and I'm mad that Amy stole my dress. I'm mad that she ruined it, and I'm mad that no one is doing anything to replace it. Am I wrong for wanting her to pay for a new dress? Does that make me a bad sister? Am I the a-hole?
Low-key, you're being soft on your sister. Just gonna be real.
You need to get hard. Go harder.
What does that look like, Dakota?
It looks like what it feels to chew 5 gum. For the love of God, stop being the victim. Call the police. Report your dress stolen. Show the police the video and sue your sister for the cost of replacing your dress and damages. And do not allow any of these thieving buttholes anywhere near you or your wedding. You're grown up now. Act like it. OP replies, I really wanted to handle it without the police, but I guess you're right. I have to at this point. And now we have an update. I said it in that voice because OP's being a little baby. What would you do in this situation, Riley?
At the beginning, if she did not answer my calls, I'm going to her house and getting answers.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If she got it dirty, she was trying on the dress.
I don't even think she got it dirty on accident. I think whatever she did to the dress, she did it on purpose.
Yeah. I'm going to her house and demanding it back.
How do you accidentally get the dress dirty? What did you do? You put it on and then you made coffee? Are you a complete buffoon? You moron? To be honest, anytime I wear anything white, I always stain it. So I can kind of empathize, but at the same time, I wouldn't be stealing anyone's wedding dress and trying it on. You sick freak. Update. I called my parents and my sister and had a 3-way call and explained that unless she replaced the dress or pay me back, I was going to place a police report. My sister started crying, and my parents said that I'm being immature.
Stop being a baby and sue your sister.
They said I need to stop and said family is family. So I said, then I'm doing a GoFundMe. Those are the options. And by the way, you have an option to listen to full episodes with stories just like this on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime, and you will find 1,200 hours worth of stories to listen to. Let's finish this story off. My parents said, fine, but don't expect them to pitch in. and then told my sister she should pay whatever she can afford to help replace the dress. Amy says she will try to pay it off a little bit at a time since she gets paid every 2 weeks. At this point, I don't even care. All that matters is I'm getting married to the love of my life. I don't have to have a fancy dress, blue jeans and a t-shirt. But my parents and my sister will not be invited to my wedding. Good job. There we go. Keep that spine firm. It's a good thing I haven't mailed out the invitations yet because my parents and Amy won't be getting one. And that is the end. What a wonderful, wonderful time. You had a perfect response to this situation, which is, I don't even need a fancy dress. I'm getting married to the love of my life. It's more the principle. She ruined it. She's going to have to pay for it. And then, yeah, completely go low to no contact with the sister and maybe the parents. I mean, you're getting married and your sister had 4 marriages and 4 divorces. They paid for all of it. And they're like, oh, sorry, we can't help you.
It's like FAFSA with college. If you apply earlier, you get more money.
But that is the end of that.